they can join us. Kindly do so they can join us quickly. Okay, we'll start in 1 minute. It's already 7:44. Hello, Lois. Good evening. All right. I'm looking at the charts. Okay, we'll get. All right, it's time. Hi, everyone. I want to believe you had an amazing day today. For those who went to work today, how was work? For those who went to school, for those who are studying, how was school today? How was classes? I didn't go to work today. I did some work at home, but I went to church and it was massive. All right, so I'll share my slides quickly so we can delve into the business of today without wasting so much time. So once you can see my screen up, let me know. Grace, you do me the favor, or is it Lois now? You do me that favor to let me know. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see the chat when I begin to present. So once you can see my screen, someone should let me know on the call. Is my screen visible to you at your end?
Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, ladies. So today we're having a session on career and business development. And I want to believe that you are ready for what we have for tonight. So let me just request that someone prays for us. Who will volunteer to quickly say a 1 minute prayer for us before we delve in? Who's doing that? Would you want me to call someone's name? I think I saw some persons on the call before I went off. Who's doing that for us? I'm still waiting. Who's doing that for us?
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for strength and vitality. We thank you for how far you've helped us today. May your name be praised in Jesus' name. Father, we commit this meeting into your hands. We ask that you take perfect control. We ask that you help us to come to realization of what you need to do in Jesus' name. Bless every one of us, and at last want to get to the end refreshed, heightened, and ready for work. Thank you, Jesus. For in Jesus' mighty name we are prayed. Amen.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the quick prayers. So from my end, you were breaking. I don't want to believe it's my network. Is my voice very clear and audible enough? Are there any kind of interruptions from your end? Someone kindly confirm.
I can hear you.
All right, okay. I guess the network is from your end then. All right, so like I said earlier, today's session is on career and business development. And here's a quote I would love for us to just highlight a few points on. It says, every time a woman breaks a barrier in her career, she built a bridge for others to cross. Now, I want you to just think of this in this way. Whatever path you're currently on at the moment, whatever level you are in, just be very deliberate in delivering and putting in your best, knowing that you're not just doing it for yourself alone, but you're doing it for every other woman. Because once you are able to scale past that level, you have opened the door for another woman. You might never even get access to maybe cancel her, mentor her directly, but because you've passed through that, you've gone past that level, she would have access. Let me give you an example. So in our country, Nigeria, you know that it's very difficult for a woman to become the president. Imagine we get to have a woman emerge as president one day. She will break that that limitation, that stereotype that has been there, you know, and then it will become like a normal thing sort of for women to come on board. So whatever it is you're doing, whatever career you are currently in at whatever level, just put in your best as you deliver, knowing that you're not just doing it for yourself alone. So here at some point, I also want us to note, in today's world, having a career or business is not a luxury for women. It is a necessity for security and for independence. A woman who builds her career builds her confidence, her voice, and her future. Now, I want to believe that right on this call, for those of us who have started making money for ourselves, right? There is this confidence you have compared to when you were back in school, when you were reaching out to your parents every now and then for finances, and this point now that you can make money for yourself. You have the liberty to make certain choices, certain decisions on your own. You know, there's this confidence it comes with, and you're able to even speak to your parents like a matured person, right? Knowing that, oh, there's just this confidence that brings. So I want to encourage everyone on this call to get one of these things up. Either you're building in your career and then you're being paid for it, or you're building a business and you're making money out of it. You have to be in at least one of these. If you can't do the two, at least in one of these, just so you build a path for yourself. We already know what we have here. We know who TCW is and our mission, what we seek to do. So I wouldn't want to get in there. Now, I want us to quickly do this. Write in the chat, if money wasn't an issue, what career path would you have chosen? So let's just, let's respond to this quickly in the chat. If money wasn't an issue, what career path would you have chosen? Where would you have been now? So someone will help me read in the chat once we get those feedbacks in the chat, because I cannot see the chat right now. So I don't know if Lois will do that for us or Grace, who's going to volunteer to do that. I'm waiting for your feedbacks. Just feel free.
Yeah,
If it wasn't an
here,
issue,
I've not seen anything.
what's happening? Who and who do we have? I think there's Precious on the call. Precious, give us your feedback. There is Tego on the call. There is Teresa on the call. I see Lois on the call. I see Faith. So let's get your feedback quickly.
Okay, someone is saying here that she would have worked as a teacher. Can you hear me?
As a
Someone is saying
teacher?
here that she would have in a non-profit, maybe way or something like that. Maybe she loves teaching or something like that. So if money wasn't the issue, she would have worked as a teacher.
Oh, amazing. That's so beautiful. Thank you for that feedback. Who else has responded in the chat?
All right, no response yet. Guys, we are waiting for more of your responses.
Okay, so I need your
ladies.
response because that's from where we move to introduce our mentor for today. Grace, kindly confirm, is he on the call with us already?
Yes, he's already on the call.
All right, beautiful. So I'm waiting for your feedbacks. Grace, are you not going to give us a feedback? If money wasn't an issue, what career path would you choose? You don't need to tell us why.
Something
Just
similar to
tell us what it is. You don't have to tell us why.
well, something similar to what Blessing is saying. But then again, I love to dance, so actually dancing will have just been it for life.
Oh wow. So that means we need to reach out to Mentor Desiree on your behalf to teach you
Yeah.
how to dance.
Okay, someone is saying I would have been a writer and a poet.
Oh, see talent. Oh, see all our talent wasting. Oh God. Okay. Thank you so much for your feedbacks. So for myself, if money wasn't a challenge, I think I'm already doing that. What I love to do, what I'm doing right now, what I'm doing with CCW. So I think for me, that's it. That's it. All right. So I just wanted to bring our consciousness to these things because sometimes, the quest for money, the quest for survival makes us just become overwhelmed. We are just all after whatever we do. We're just doing, oh, we need to be paid for this, we need to be paid for this. And then we forget what our desires truly are. So I would like that these things you've recalled that you would have loved to do, you can still create space in your life to include them. It's possible. It doesn't now have to be like a job kind of thing, a career you want to be. Just create space for it. You would see that your life will become more full. You'll be more joyous. All right, so let me go ahead to call up our mentor for today. Our mentor for today is Dr. Charles. I cannot pronounce his surname, so I don't want to murder it, but just know that his name is Dr. Charles. He's an exceptional person. He's the founder of Mafubi Collectives. Dr. Charles is a visionary manager, management consultant, and social entrepreneur with expertise in agriculture, entrepreneurship, technology, and grant advisory. A Columbia Business School alumnus, he has led programs with the World Bank, USAID, FAO, GIZ, and Harvard Center for International Development, shaping policy and innovation across Africa. He is passionate about entrepreneurship. He has mentored startups and empowered over 7,000 plus young professionals in 9 countries. While I'm reading this, I was expecting I'll be seeing your feedbacks. I'll be seeing your excitement. The room is so cold and quiet. I don't think there's anyone on this call that has kind of portfolio, so you should celebrate him. Are you doing that already? Let's celebrate him. Through his initiatives. So he has also worked with MasterCard Foundation, CC Hub, Faith Foundation. She leads Africa and other platforms that help innovators build scalable and high impact enterprises. So today on this call, just know that you have a premium person taking you this session for absolutely free. You did not pay a dime for this. I want to let you know that all these other sessions, you see the highly placed organizations he has worked with, they pay good money for his services, but we have him here for free tonight. So I want you to celebrate him and I want you to be attentive. I want you to be ready to explore and maximize his time here, right? Thank you so much, Dr. Charles. I wouldn't want to say how I connected with Dr. Charles, but he's an amazing mentor. And we are glad to have him join us today. Dr. Charles, thank you so much for joining us on the call today. I'm going to stop sharing my slides now so you can come up live. I don't know if you are able to share your slides and if you can hear me.
Okay, yes, I can hear you. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir. We can hear you. I can hear you from my end.
Yeah, I should be able to share. Just give me like some minutes. Let me add my laptop on.
All right. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, so while he's trying to get that on, also, are you ready to take
No,
it?
please continue. Please continue.
Okay, okay. I was thinking you needed some time to do that.
No, yeah, you were saying something, so I just said continue. Just in
No,
2 minutes
no.
time, I should be done.
It's because of that I wanted to say something, so you can go ahead.
Okay. I'm not ready yet. I'll be ready in 2 minutes.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So, ladies, while he's trying to get his slides up, I want you to show your excitement in the chat. Okay, this is beautiful. Thank you, Blessing, for doing this. For those of you who have not connected with Dr. Charles, you can do that on LinkedIn. There's so much you will learn from him. Like beyond what he's going to teach us today, there is so much. There's so much. So while he's doing that, if you have any questions around business, career, get them ready. Get them ready. Get them ready now so you don't forget. Because by the time the conversation gets really deep, you might forget your already existing questions, right? So any question you have now, just take note of it and get your writing materials ready as well.
Okay, so thank you, because of time. So I think I would just, while this is setting up, I would just start by saying, if possible, could like maybe any two people just unmute and just tell me a bit about themselves, like introduce themselves. I don't know if someone can help me confirm, but any two people that can, I will appreciate.
Okay, so someone unmute, introduce yourself.
Good evening.
Good
Can you
evening.
hear me? Okay.
Okay, someone is going to hear me. I'll go next.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. My name is Lois Ifeoluwa Abaton. I'm a data analyst, on our way to proficiency. I'm interested in the agro industry. I love to write also, to speak, and to do things that majorly circles around agro. That's my passion or my interest, most especially. But for now, I intern in an agro company also as an operations intern, learning more about the industry. And I really hope to know how to navigate because I'm a person of, let's say, many talents or many interests like that. Let's not say many, some. So I want to know how to streamline it and I hope to get better. So that's it.
All right, thank you. I think he's still here on the call. Who's going next? Blessing wanted to say something. Your hand is raised, Blessing. You can unmute and speak.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you so much.
I
Okay.
need to be allowed to share my screen. I think I need to be given permission to. I'm ready.
I think I already made you a co-host. Let's do that
Okay.
again. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
All
Okay,
right.
bless you.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Blessing Iyare. I'm a Google Women Tech Maker ambassador, and I have over a decade experience in education, project management, and then now data analytics. I love education so much, and that's why when they said something about when we're asked what we would do and not get paid, or if we don't think about the money, mine is educating people. That's something I'm really passionate about, to see that the world get better and people get to know what they don't know and get better, live better lives. So yes, that's something for me. And I look forward to learning more in this session and hopefully collaborating and yes, being a better version of myself. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's very important. Thank you. And I would say one thing I would recommend is, and yes, I tend to, let me do some disclaimers. I tend to digress a lot. I tend to talk fast. I tend to talk quite a lot. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen. Your screen is up.
Yeah. So yes, I tend to digress a lot. So I usually advise, thank God this is being recorded, but if you can just get a jotter and something to take notes. If you can't work with a jotter, I think some of us have our private WhatsApp groups that is for us alone. So something might stick out to you to say it. So yeah, you can watch my slides, but I will spend a bit more time talking. And I've been more focused. I mean, this is a social media age. Virtually a lot of things I might say, you can actually spend a bit of time on YouTube and then you see them there. So why should I come and regurgitate what you can see online? But one thing I try to do when I'm doing stuff like this is to teach people unconventional knowledge. You know, that kind of stuff that you see and like, why didn't I think of this? Or this guy's really, really smart too. You know, is it the same two heads that we have, or does he have two heads and all those kind of stuff? So I usually tell people I'm a lazy person. Most of them argue me, but the point of being lazy is I try to look for not shortcuts, but look for a way to do something faster and better without stressing much. When I get to a hospital, for example, or I go to a hotel and a restaurant, I just quickly scan through and I tell myself that if I was to manage this place for a day, you know, I'll probably remove this flower vase, move it here, put a notice board with you know, like a map of the hotel somewhere. Make sure the TV is playing instead of playing CNN. The TV is maybe playing a loop of talking about the business and all those other stuff. I just think of all those kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm already digressing. So today we're going to be focusing on career and business growth. I have about, I think, 7 slides. I'll try to finish before time because I know we'll have a lot of Q&A. And even if you're unable to complete, I think my LinkedIn profile has been dropped if I'm not mistaken. So you can just check through to confirm. But today we'll be talking about career and business growth. And the general question is, most times after school, we ask ourselves, what next? Okay. Should you go for your masters? A good number of people have gone for their masters, not because they wanted to do masters, but because it was the safest zone to go into. I mean, you are having like a regimented lifestyle, you have to go for a lecture, this and that. The world out there is too scary. And then sometimes after masters, they go for PhD. I have some of my friends that are scholars now, and in all honesty, they tell me that, Charles, the world out there is a bit scary. You know, you're having to wake up and nobody is waking you up and telling you there's a timetable or you have to do this or that. So that form of responsibility is a bit too scary for them. And then luckily, because they are doing well academically, it's quite a lot easier for them to just fall into that path. So career business growth, how do we position ourselves? How do we have a digital reputation in an online world? Okay, so let's go to so quickly that this favorite exercise I have. If you have not if you have time, let us participate. So Google yourself, okay? Go online on Google. If your name is Patience Okange, you want to put that. If your name is Blessing Simon, you want to put Blessing Simon. For example, your name is not Simon Blessing. See, there's a reason we call it the first name and the last name. I've seen some people say my names are Winshe Charles. My name is not Winshe Charles. If you put Winshe Charles anywhere, that means Winshe is my first name, and then my father's name is going to be Charles. So some of the things I like to tell young professionals, especially on your CV, all those my names are things that they taught us when we were in primary school, secondary school is wrong. Okay, so we call it the first name and the last name. As it appears on international passport, it's even the safest way. So please go online on Google, put your first name and last name, press enter, and you can unmute, just feel free. And because I'm going to do like 2 exercises before I go into the training proper. So just you can also submit and tell me, do you see LinkedIn? Do you see Facebook? Do you see Twitter? Do you see ResearchGate? Do you see Pinterest? Do you see Medium? Do you see TikTok? So I want to know like what are the top 2 or top 3 search results you saw when you searched your name. So give us like a minute. If you've done yours, just unmute and let me know. Okay, Charles, I saw this, and this.
Okay, I've done mine.
Okay.
And
Blessing.
for me, yes, Medium was the first. And there's Twitter, there's Women on Stage, Medium, LinkedIn, Twitter, like that. Medium.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I assume you do a lot of writing, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Any other person again? Like maybe take 2 more.
Okay,
Mine
my
was LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and then
Okay.
the rest.
Okay. Thank you very much, Grace. So who is next? Somebody was speaking earlier. Could you continue?
okay, it's actually Grace. Yes, mine is LinkedIn, data count, and some other certification or data related and website like Kaggle, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. very much. So this is just a snapshot of what mine looks like. If you look at the right side, I've been in the research space, have like 2 or 3 published work in international journals. I've done a lot of stuff like this. I've lost count, probably over 30 or 40 speaking, mentorship, online stuff like this. So sometimes people get to refer me on their social media pages. Yes, I think this one about this Saturday, the Facebook one was for this same program, the one I had to attend at the launch of the mentorship. There's my LinkedIn, there's Pinterest, yeah, there's something about research. So the long and short of this is I'm very, very big on having a personal brand. Okay. And then I tell people that a lot of professionals spend a bit more time focusing on having a very, very good CV, which is not bad. But the difference between your CV and this exercise you just did is that people need your permission to access your CV. Grace is here, Blessing is here, Lois is here, Patience is here. I don't know what your CVs look like. So that means for me to access your CVs, I need to ask you to send your CV to me, or I need to hope and pray I'm in a position that maybe your CV is somewhere that I can have access to it, or your uncle or your aunt and decide to send the CV to me. So, in terms of positioning, when you spend your time having the best CV in the world, it is not bad, but the point is, it is virtually useless. Okay, because the people that need to use that CV to decide for your future, let's say you want to apply for this mentorship program, okay, it's a lot easier for patients to go online and search your name like you just did and see that you are into Twitter and into Medium and into LinkedIn and into ResearchGate and all those other ones than to start asking. So without your CV, patients do not necessarily know you exist. So what I try to tell people a lot is do this exercise, see what comes out on your Google page. You can go to page 1, page 2, page 3. That is your brand. If you like, become the best dressed person in your family and every other thing. But whatever people can check about you online without your permission, that is going to make them have a perception about you. That is what your brand is. And succeeding in business, succeeding in career depends a lot on number one, having a good brand, and number two, positioning your brand in a place that the people that need to see it. Sometimes as Christians, we make a lot of prayer. God, let them mention my name in rooms that I'm not there and all those other stuff. But if you have only your CV and you don't even have anything about you online, and they mention your name, the CEO or the admin manager, the HR manager decides to mention your name, what's the next thing people will do? The CEO or the boss can turn to someone and say, check him out, what can you see online? And then all they're seeing online is maybe on your Facebook post, they're putting men at this, or the president is this, or Nigeria Jaga Jaga, and all those other stuff. Nothing of value, nothing communicating the value you offer, and all those other stuff. So what I'll say is spend a bit more time curating yourself online. I'm going to guide us on how to do that. Your CV is not bad, but I've been in over thousands of interviews. I've hired over 200 people in the past 5 years of my life. And during the interviews, I don't spend, and a lot of people in the HR space as well, don't spend time going through your CV because it's very, very easy to pay. And this is now the thing. LinkedIn and other social media options offers a bit more on the accountability side than the CV. You can put on CV that worked, you were Dangote's personal PA. Nobody's going to argue with you. But when you come on a public platform like Facebook, like Twitter, like TikTok, like LinkedIn, Instagram, and you put that kind of information there, guess what will happen? People start jumping to verify. If you are off or you are lying, they can easily call you out. So people in the space that are looking at maybe CEOs or people that have opportunities and they're looking for young people too, the easiest place for them to check generally is usually LinkedIn because in terms of accountability, if you say you've worked at Julius Berger, you've worked at Dangote Foundation, it's very, very easy to look through your profile, look at the people you're connected to, look at your activities, and look at all those other stuff to confirm whether you're legit or not. So if you're not taking anything from what I'm saying, the most important thing is learn how to position yourself online, whether you're a business person. I just finished a MasterCard mentorship program for 3 ideation stage entrepreneurs, one in the US and one guy in the US and 2 ladies in Ghana. And then I spent a bit of time for the first day singing it in their ears about how to go and have a very, very good LinkedIn profile first. Because I've been in businesses that you're applying for grants, and at the final stage, there's $1 million up for grabs, and the people that are doing due diligence are looking at the names of all of you on this chat, and they are going to go. So there's Grace Onivehu. Sorry if I'm mistaking it, but let's assume Grace is making a presentation now for the company. I will copy her name, go to LinkedIn and go and check her name and check whether Grace actually puts that she belongs to a mentorship group, or whether Grace is the admin manager or Grace is this and that. And I've known two organizations that have lost all the money coming their way just because of that simple thing. And most of them had the most amazing CVs. That was what got them in. Okay. So no matter who you say you are, right? The moment people go online, anything they see now, what you go collect. Would they see you as a scholar? Would they see you as a writer? Would they see you as a business person? Would they see you as an influencer? Anything they can see online, that's the perception they are going to make before they even start opening LinkedIn and all those other stuff. Okay. So please, this is very, very important. Spend a bit more time. Sometimes I do a lot of mentorship program. Like a patient said, I do a lot of volunteering. But one agreement I have with everybody is you might not pay me, but ensure that it's a poster online, especially on LinkedIn or any social media with my name and my picture on it. That is the only payment I need. It might seem funny, but my focus is to ensure that my digital footprint is well listed so that people go online and they search a lot of NGOs, they're going to see my name reflected. That is why I have something like this. Okay. So please, this is very important. Are we together? Hope I'm not alone. Can you guys still hear me?
You're not alone. Absolutely, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I was feeling lonely a bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
so sorry, I'm going to spend the next few moments talking a bit about myself, but it's just very, very intentional to guide most of us. Okay. I'm a veterinary doctor by profession, right? I studied in the UNN for vet medicine 6 years or 7 years plus ASU. After that, went for my master's in veterinary public health at Ibadan, University of Ibadan. You know, after that, life happened, had to join a startup, this and that, this and that, this and that. And at the end of the day, so I was at the point I was good in my academics. Okay, I had publications. Do I lecture? That one was not working out. I said, okay, do I work for a bit? I did a bit of work. Do I go to the veterinary clinics? And long and short, what you can see on the screen is just a short snapshot of whoever Charles is. So not only have I done well for myself in the corporate space, I've also started 2 or 3 running businesses at the moment, and I've helped countless numbers of founders on one part, people that want to go into business, and countless numbers of career people on the other part learn how to position themselves. Everything about me that I try to do is to ensure that I am well positioned. The picture you're seeing here is a screenshot of my LinkedIn page. Why did I use this kind of picture? When I put this kind of picture of here with myself and the governor, nobody needs to ask me whether I have any long leg in reaching aspect of the government. So people will look at this and they come to my DM and say, Charles, I'm in the US, I'm trying to start up a business in Lagos, or I'm trying to start up something. I can see from a picture or whatever. Can we have a coffee meeting to discuss how you can link me to some of the ecosystem players in the energy sector, in the real estate sector, whatever in Lagos State? So all the long and short about positioning and branding is ask yourself, what kind of question will the person I meet you tomorrow ask? And answer those questions beforehand. So let it not be Patience or Lois or Grace, come and tell me about yourself. No. Let them see everything that they need to know about yourself in the right place. And then the next question is, how did you get here? Okay. When Patience read my bio, it just reminded me of a time like 3 or 4 years ago when I was still starting. I was not really doing much for myself. And I attended a program in my church in Ibadan where Ibuka Anwoshika was, they called her to come and give a speech. And I noticed whenever they're getting guest pastors, these people have to stand up and they're reading about them and it's taking 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and everybody's clapping. And I noticed something unusual. Okay. They did not follow a particular line. And that's why I like the part that I think Patience was asking, if money was not the issue, what else are you going to do? And then what is stopping you from doing those things? And I celebrate Patience for taking the bold step to say, okay, even whether money is involved or not, this is very, very important. Let me start doing it. So for us, I noticed that most of them had their bios, they studied this one, they did this before, they started this company, they bought the chairman here, they are doing this, they are doing that. And I discovered something. Versatility is very, very important. As a business person, as a career person, it is better, and this is my own personal opinion, because sometimes I was talking to a client of mine that she's a communications and graphics person, and she's applying for a program abroad, and she was applying for something, and I think in the health sector. And then somebody told her to go and delete her link. In fact, the person told her to delete her LinkedIn profile entirely. And another person told her to go and delete everything about communications and put everything about health. And as far as health was concerned, she had only done 2 courses on health and 1 NYSC health CDS stuff. So imagine somebody that had worked for the past 6 to 7 years doing something in communications, and then you want to explore an opportunity in a different sector. And the best advice somebody is going to give is to erase your existence. People don't understand the importance of versatility. That means when they're introducing her tomorrow, they're going to say, kindly meet this person. She had taken 2 courses and have volunteered in the health sector. Simple. Won't it be better they talk about someone that has done a lot of, managed top brands, put a lot of communication out there, worked with the government and the different sector, and now she's now deploying her services in the health sector. That tells a better story. Also, some of us are unusually loyal to what we studied in school. If I ask most of you the course you did in school or the course you are currently doing in school, was it your first choice? Was it something your parents forced you to? Or like me, was it something you applied for and did not reach the cutoff mark and they said they bounce you up and down? I'm a veterinary doctor, not because I wanted, but because they bounced me up and down and I started to go and apply for medicine and surgery again. So if I'm killing myself doing the vet thing, am I doing it because unfortunately the world or school give it to me and I just have to follow it? Why do I have to be loyal to a course I was not even interested in the first place as long as I'm a graduate? So what I'm seeing on my screen is just a way to tell you that I decided to focus my life on versatility. There's Vet Dr. A, there's Vet Dr. Charles. We are 2 different people. Because most of my colleagues are thinking of, going to start up a clinic, chase animals and all those things. I'm not saying it's bad. People do it and they're doing well. I decided to do something entirely different. Because the idea I had for myself was being in a strong boardroom, talking to powerful people and making powerful decisions. I could not live that reality working in a small vet clinic somewhere. I could not live that reality opening a small shop and putting drugs and waiting. I could not live that reality lecturing in some certain universities. So I decided to break that safety zone and decided to go out. So over my past, I've been on training platforms. I've done a lot of mentorship. I keep looking for anything I can do. And all this is I've done so far are something that are verifiable online. Okay. So my long and short about this particular slide is to tell you that it is very, very important how you position yourself. If I don't know anything about you, that's why I asked you guys to introduce yourself when you decided to start. And when we started. If I don't know anything about it, it's very, very difficult to now ask myself, what kind of opportunities can I push to you? For example, the lady that talked about the medium part and all those other things, it's possible that a deal might come my way and they need a creative writer or something. If we have let's say I had your number and a lot of stuff come to my table. The moment I just hear we need a creative writer or something around creative writing or something like that, because the most recent conversation I had was on a training platform like this, where somebody mentioned her being active on Twitter and being active on Medium and all those other stuff, so active that it ranked high on a Google algorithm. It's the easiest thing for me to do. And please reach out to this person. She's my person or whatever, and that is how it gets to start. So sometimes you get to pray a lot for mentors, you get to pray a lot of opportunities, but at the end of the day, we are not positioning ourselves in the right way. I'm going to guide us on that. I think I've talked too much because of time. So quickly, just unmute and just mention as much as you can. There are some people on this screen. Can you remember any of them? If you can remember anybody, just tell me their names quickly. It's not for my hand.
Doctor.
Okay, yes, continue. Just unmute and talk. Be free. You can talk everything if you can. Yes, correct. Continue.
Funke Akinde.
Yes, continue. So don't repeat another person's own. So there are like 2 more.
Aisha Yusufu.
Yes, okay. I think 2 more.
Ngozi Ekonjo-Iweala.
Okay, then the last person is the guy with the chest. Please impress me or you must know him. I thought my people here, I thought we are versatile people now. How are we not going to know the guy with the chest?
Is it Tunde? What's that his name again? I'm trying to remember his name. It's not coming.
Yes, Tunde Onakoya.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So if you are very, very active on LinkedIn, especially, or even on Twitter, it's very, very popular. And this is something now. So if I wanted to extend this exercise, right, I will tell you to tell me something you know about them. Okay, you say Asha is the musician, Awoshika is the banker and the the female leader, Okonjo-Iweala finance, global leader, Funke Akindele, Nollywood, media, Aisha Ishufu on the advocacy part, Tunde Onakaya, of course, kid support, Chelsea slumps and everything, Apoko doctor, health or whatever. But one thing you don't even talk about is what they studied in school. I'm not debating education, but I'm trying to say you can be free to do anything you want to, such that the moment you enter a room or people see your name, they attach something of value to your name. Quick example, I had a mentee of mine, a very, very fine girl, looking good. God created her well, that is the politically correct way to put it and everything. And she makes shoes for people. And she complained to me that she was having unusual or undue attention from men. Each time she decides to, go out there, guys are giving her rights and everything. And for some weird reason, all the questions or most of the discussions were going towards the sexual part or towards some parts that she was not too comfortable with, and it was always happening. And then I taught her how to take control of some conversations or some situations. For example, and then yeah, I think she reached out because she's a business person, sales were not too good, and then we got talking into that part. I was trying to talk get how she network to people. Long and short of that, I gave her some guide to say, okay, you are into making of shoes. One major part for business people is in the easiest way, I not create a problem, but no, identify a challenge or a problem, understand the loopholes or the gaps there. Look into how your business or your solution can solve that particular problem and loud it. I'll give you a good example of what I told her. You are in a ride with you're in a car, a guy is giving you a ride, you're talking to a guy walks up to you and everything. Because you make shoes, instead of waiting for the guy to start up the conversation and then directing it towards that part that usually happens, look down at the feet of the person. Is he wearing sneakers? Is he wearing whatever, whatever? Give a compliment. Oh, is this Adidas? Is this? Oh, are you a boot person? Or are you a shoe person? Are you a sneaker person? If you wear trad, do you prefer to wear shoes or do you prefer to wear palm sandals and all those stuff? Direct the conversation to that context or that kind of business you are into or the kind of industry you're into, and then strike up that conversation. And somehow, somewhere, now sneaking the fact that you are into that line of business. It's a lot easier to now for the conversation now be about, oh, you make shoes. Oh, that's nice. I don't know that girls make shoes or something like that. Some people do say that. Can I see some pictures? You open your Instagram, you show him, oh, okay. My mom's birthday is coming up. My sister's birthday is coming up, and all those other stuff. Okay. So we have to learn. And for me, for example, I do a lot of LinkedIn optimization. Okay. So one thing I do to direct or narrate or navigate most discussion, when people reach out to me to say, Charles, I need the first thing I even tell most people is go to my LinkedIn and look at my LinkedIn in detail, compare my LinkedIn to your own LinkedIn profile. They come to me and tell me what is in my profile that is not in your profile. So instead of me wasting my time to be saying LinkedIn is important for no, there's no need. I'll show you what an ideal one is. You compare it with what yours is, identify what the gaps are, and then come to me with that self-awareness. They will now decide how to talk. Okay. So quickly, another exercise. There are some names here. Unmute and just tell me. Otiwa Ibelu is already. So nobody needs to mention that one. That's Expo. But there are some other faces here. So you can just unmute and just tell me anything about them. You don't need to mention their names. You can mention their names. You can tell me anything about them. Anyone is fine. The last two at the bottom are those I really want to use to get us. So please feel free to unmute. I'm listening. Am I lonely? Are we still here? Hello?
Hello, ladies. Are we on the call?
Blessing, Grace, Lois, my people. You guys are not talking. Okay.
I'm
Sorry
looking
together.
at them. I'm trying to. I know their faces, but their names.
No, please, oh, you must know them. These are popular people now. And I even got ladies because most of us, I mean, we're all ladies here, so it should be a lot easier for us to align. So others now
So
come and
I
be
know.
less alert.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, we can hear you, Esther.
Oyenka Owenu is the lady below T.Y. Bello.
Okay, correct.
And Aisha, the footballer, I can't remember her surname, but her
Okay, Shaola or
name is
something.
yes. And then the person up, I'm thinking of Fumilayo or Ransom Kuti, but I'm not pretty sure. But
Yes, you are
okay,
correct. She's the iconic Formula and some Kuti Fela's mom.
yeah. So
Okay.
those are the ones I can recognize, and of course T.Y. Bello.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Can anyone remember any these people at the bottom? It will take someone that is very, very used to watching the news or someone that watched the most recent Olympic Games. Okay, anyway, because of time. So these two guys at the bottom, yes, so there's this air gun part of the Olympic Games. You know, they put a target somewhere and you have to get a gun from somewhere. They have all these gadgets and everything. But the guy by the left, you know, just came without wearing the glasses, without setting up, just, you know, as if you're just doing a normal shooting stuff. And I think it took seconds or so. And then the other lady was voted the most stylish pistolier. The main point about this point and this whole thing is just by looking at their pictures, okay, it's very, very easy to identify them for something because you already know what they do. So why is it important as a career person, as a business person? Why is it important for you to have your personal brand? Why have I spent too much time talking about this? Okay. Why have I spent too much time talking about this? 4 major reasons. You want to be visible to others beyond your immediate circle. If the patients I knew, and patients will agree with me, the patients I knew this time last year and the patients I know now are two different people. And my level of respect for her has gone up. Because at the end of the day, of course, I would say she had a brand or whatever, but at the end of the day, she had broken out from the normal, maybe the normal 9 to 5 mentality or the normal working for some mentality. And she had built, is this a business? Is this a brand? Whatever you want to call it. But she had built something that is after her. TCW is not named after Patience. But when next you see Patience picture, you think of TCW, you think of mentorship program for women, you think of this, you think of that. And because I position myself well, people that are not in Abuja with me, people that are not in my house, people that are not in my office can stumble on my profile online, read about me, and then come to me to say, Charles, I saw you're into ABC. Currently, I'm looking for BCD. Can we have a meeting to discuss this? Without having a personal brand, the best person that knows me is just probably going to be my neighbors, people in my church, and then people in the market or people in my office. So having a personal brand is going to help you to be visible beyond your immediate circle. And online is the best way to enable it. If you have a personal brand, your pastor can call you in the front of the whole church to come and talk about something. And then when you come up there, one of the first things you want to do is to learn how to introduce yourself. We're still going back to how I told us to introduce ourselves in the beginning. What are some of the things you say? Do you introduce yourself based on what you want to say? Or do you study your audience and introduce yourself to align a bit better with what they want to hear or what they're positioned for? Okay? So another thing is to be matched to the right opportunity. This one is very, very simple. I currently work under the office of the vice president. I also work in a consulting company in Abuja here. I got these 2 jobs on LinkedIn without having to apply. I just saw, hi Charles, a partner of us in the UK came across a comment of yours on LinkedIn, checked out your profile, and felt that you'd be a good fit for some positions we have in the firm, in the Nigeria office. If you're interested, this is the website. Go through it. If it's fine by you, send us your CV and we'll get started. 2 months later, I had to relocate to Abuja because of that. Without having a personal brand, without having something that people can Google and stumble on, is very, very difficult. Because number one, even I might have a LinkedIn profile and all this other stuff, but when I don't put the right things there, it's difficult. And remember, like I said, what I have done is on my profile already. Nobody needs to ask me what I've done. Everything is there. The next question is now, how can Charles be of value to me? Charles, I want you to optimize my LinkedIn. Why are you saying you want me to optimize your LinkedIn? Because you saw it on my profile that I optimize people's LinkedIn profiles. Charles, I want you to be a mentor on my platform. Why are you telling me that you want me to be a mentor on your platform? Because you've seen on my profile that I'm a global mentor. I mentor a lot of programs and I have a lot of proof for that. And I mentored a lot of places. So you're like saying, this guy has experience. Charles, that thing you've done for others, come and do it for me. The moment you position your brand that way, whether you're looking a business person looking for clients or a career person looking for opportunities will start finding you. And of course, for you to even have substance to even post, you need to be busy. Okay? Influence others through your unique POV. I post a lot of articles often on LinkedIn, and then people get to repost, reach out to me, they like this and all those other stuff. And then of course be the large following. I've built for the past 2 years, I was able to raise my following to as much as almost I think 27 or 28,000 followers on LinkedIn across the world. And to me, the target was anything I put out there, it takes at least within a week or 2 weeks, at least 10,000 people across the world will have access to any content I put out there. So it helps me to influence people easily. Okay. So quickly, we have those 3 more slides. These are just going to be direct tips. You can take screenshots if you want. I'm going to send the slides to maybe Patience or a member of our team to share with us. So we're going to look at this in 3 sides.
Hello, am I the only one no longer hearing Dr. Charles?
Yeah, I can't hear him too.
No, you're not.
Okay, I think his network tripped off. Let me reach out to him on WhatsApp. All right, ladies. So let's keep the conversation flowing. Write in the chat some of the things Dr. Charles mentioned. Can you begin to highlight some of them in the chat? So far, what has been your key takeaway? What have you gotten from today's session? I've gotten a lot. Well, before I do that, I will just go on WhatsApp. I want to check on him. Or Grace, will you help us do that?
All right.
What's up with him? Yeah, so ladies, back to the conversation. If you want to unmute and speak, you can do so, or you can just share it in the chat. What's that one thing that you just learned now? That new thing you just learned now? I need to build my personal brand. Very important. Yes, this is important, but this is a bit generic blessing. I want you to be a bit more specific. Looking at exact examples he gave, can you be more specific? Because there are some things that I just picked now, very specific.
Okay. I think maybe let me just unmute. For me, I feel what I got is I shouldn't just focus on my CV. I should also ensure that my social network, or when somebody, like my social footprint, that's the word, when people get to Google me, they see something I want them to see, which is valuable. And then he also talked about somebody clearing off because she wants to apply for a role. Somebody advised her to clear off all what she has done, and how your experience also counts for, like, so if you have like one experience and you're applying for another role, you can merge both. I think it's resonated with me because I do a lot, and then sometimes when you have some people, they'll be like, oh no, you're applying for a data analytics role, hide your project management skill and just focus on data analytics. But with this, I feel like I could just find a way to merge them and still show how they connect.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that blessing. I think we have Dr. Charles back. Dr. Charles, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, my apologies. Please forgive me. For some weird reason, my phone just went off and I had to
It's
get
all
it
right.
back.
It's fine. Well understood. Thank you for joining us again. So you have the floor again.
Thanks. So yes, I think I read on what Blessing said, okay, which is one thing I do tell people. Okay, confidence is very, very important. And I'm still going back to versatility, and thank you, Blessing, for that feedback. I'm glad you learned something there. It got to a stage in my life that I ended up having, it's not something I boast about, but I ended up having arguments, so to say, with people that wanted to hire me at the interview. I'm going to share a funny story. I've had an interview session with patients in the past. And after the session, one thing the person that we were recruiting or wanted to recruit patients for them said was, no, patience is too assertive. That was what she said. She looks like a troublesome person. And then I told her that that was the specific reason I wanted someone like Patience to work on that project. Because if she could be assertive at that meeting, then if we were to have her represent the NGO or whatever at any meeting as well, we don't need to be worried or start micromanaging and everything. So that just to give an example. And those kind of stuff comes from confidence, because I'd gone through Patience's profile. We had other interviews with other people, but most of them seemed a bit timid and like, if you don't give me this job, I'm going to die. But Patience had the unusual confidence that looked like, I know Senduna, I know the kind of value I get. If no one hire me, no wahala, I'm going to get this stuff elsewhere. And that is one mentality I want a lot of us to have, which is why I'm still I'm a bit positioned on, focused on how we position ourselves. Okay. So following what Blessing said, I don't know how to make this very, very important so that we don't forget. Number one, when I have clients, I can do the best CV. I've gotten very, very busy final year students that were in different clubs, and I made 2-page CVs for them. Perfect. I help them do their LinkedIn profiles. Perfect. But one question I ask them is, if I do all these things for you and I give you link to a job and I send your name to somebody and I facilitate everything and you get into the interview room, can you sell yourself very well? Okay. Can somebody look at a Blessing and say, Blessing, you studied the administration and you did the library studies or something like that while you're applying for the head of a startup role? Will it look like Blessing is scattered, or can Blessing look at everything she had done and coin a story that says she had gone across 5 or 6 industries, she has gathered enough experience, she has gathered enough network working with people, she has gathered enough exposure about different industries, and she's going to gather all that knowledge and come and deploy it in that particular role? How do you communicate all those things you've done? You've done project management, you've done startup support, you've done nanny for maybe your auntie, you've done choir mistress for your church, you've done. How will you coin all those things? If you were to write a bio for yourself, what kind of story will you tell? What kind of story will you put about yourself out there that sells you better? So another step of this stuff is that confidence level. And like I said, I try to teach you guys some of us unconventional things. Remind me in case I forget, I want to teach you guys how to network. When you're going out for networking events, how do you make a difference? Should you just go out and collect anybody's phone number and start chatting them up on WhatsApp and introduce yourself? No, there are better ways to do it. Before I leave, I'm going to guide us on that part. Okay, so my own opinion and my focus is we are not useless. Okay, if Patience should go to the United Nations tomorrow, Patience ought to talk about all the projects she has done, the courses she studied in school, the research works that she did, the international trips that she did, the fact that she decided to, everything pushed her based on her vision and everything, that she had built enough network to launch a mentorship program, the TCW, the fact that she decided to do a launch program in Abuja, got some big people in the town to come and launch it, started up a mentorship program, not looking at the number and everything, and at the end of the day, it was what got her to that place. So all your experiences have gotten you to where you are. So why should someone tell you to come and dim your light and position yourself as a straight person? No. People are hired based on their portfolio. Your portfolio is based on all the things you have done. Okay? Somebody that has been in the police force for the past 20 years, from constable to this one, to this one, to this one, to this one, and someone that had worked with the FBI, worked with the CIA, worked for 2 nations or whatever, had the police degree, advised on security and all those other things, and then is now coming out. People look at portfolio. That is why an Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is always going to rank better when it comes to economics than somebody else. So that is just the long and short of this. But quickly, let's rush back to this, okay? So I was saying before that I broke this down into 3 slides. One is looking at identifying some of the key challenges graduates or people in the career space are facing. Second part is talking about how we can position ourselves well. And then the last part gives a bit of advice to some business people. Okay, so get ready to take your notes. I think I have less than 20 minutes to tidy this up. Okay, so what are some of the key challenges you experience in the business space? Why some graduates really want to run and jump into their masters? Competition. Okay, now 1% out of 600,000 plus annual graduate reach interviews amid youth unemployment, blah, 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 blah. I was reading a data point yesterday that is it 40% or 60% of prospective core members that are registered were accepted for this November batch. So that meant if 100,000 people registered, they took only 60,000. The remaining 40,000 have to now go and struggle for January batch. And the January batch again, you're having another 100,000 coming. And then we keep recycling that, recycling it. And then imagine the quantity that are, how many PPAs are there available? At the end of the day, everybody's going to school. What kind of job options are available there? So there's serious competition. And nowadays that we've even moved away from the normal medicine and surgery and everything, and we're now in a skills-based society. Nobody cares whether you're an engineer or not. This thing I'm currently doing, I mean, let me not even go into that, okay? So sometimes, and then one thing I try to tell a lot of people is anything you're doing, any research you're doing, change your mindset and make it post 2020. The only time you go beyond 20 and before 2020 is when you're doing a comparative analysis. You want to compare NYSC before 2020 and after 2020. You want to compare the real estate business or the apparel business or the mentorship space or the grants and funding space before 2020 and after 2020. But if you're looking for data or you're looking to rely on anything, the world changed after 2020. Everybody went digital. And unfortunately, most of the things that are being taught in school are from torn papers that our professors are claiming that they use the same paper to teach our fathers and grandfathers. And it's a thing of, sometimes I'm looking at computer science curriculum in some universities, and there's nothing about AI there. Okay, these are some of the challenges. Now, of course, if you're living under the rock, Nigeria is going to experience a lot of shift because of the taxation policies coming up. Virtually everything or almost anything of importance is going to be taxed. It's going to affect quite a lot in the job listing. I work in my office. The tax people have come and HRs and finance department are doing meetings and interviews too. And then explanation to just get people on how a lot of things are going to change. It's possible that people might not even pay as much as they want to. I was listening to something my pastor said over the weekend, that because of the policy that says if you're earning 1 million, for example, just to be clear, they are not going to tax 800K out of your salary. There's a percentage point or so to say, they're not going to tax that extra 200 plus. But unfortunately, people are going to think of saying, okay, well, let me go and look for 750K job so that they're not going to tax me. That is a small mindset thinking. Why won't you say, let you go and look for 2 million job or 3 million jobs so that if they like, they collect their tax, but at least your take home is still better. Okay, cost of living, imposter syndrome is something that happens a lot. You've done a lot for yourself. If I should work with you, for example, because it happens a lot. Oh, Charles, I've not done anything. No, Charles, your CV is 4 pages, is too much. I've not done anything in my life and everything. Charles, I don't have anything. I've not done anything, and I just laugh at them. And 2 weeks later, hey, Charles, now wow, so I've done all this. Is this me? I can't believe it. One thing I try to do is I ensure that I don't help people lie on CVs. But I try to go back into their past, into their heads, into their gallery, into their archives, and get all those seemingly insignificant things they've done and create a story that coincides and tell a single story about them and put all those things on paper. And then ensure they position those things about themselves online. So imposter syndrome is a lot. A lot of us can do a lot, but for some weird reasons, we are selling ourselves short. Okay. And then, let me not just go into this one. So these are just identifying some of the key problems for us. At the end of the day, when you get to come out, do you go into business? Do you start something online? Do you look for jobs? What kind of pathway will you want to follow? And why will you follow that pathway? I had a training recently where I told them, your words matter, your actions matter more than your words, but sometimes your motive is the most important part. Why you are doing what you are doing or why you did what you did is it's even more important to me than the action that people are doing, because it helps to inform what kind of principles are we living by, what's actually influencing our mindsets. Somebody has been at a job for the past 5 years. Why? they're giving you the promotions in that job, but why? Is it from a place of safety or from a place of ownership? So quickly, we're going to jump into, for those of us in the job market, how do you position yourself to get noticed by recruiters? Okay, of course, keywords are important. I was talking to some people earlier today and I said, this is the easiest way. Have a very, very nice master CV. You don't use the same CV for every kind of job. Have a master CV, and this master CV should be a CV that even if you help your neighbor to carry her baby for 2 weeks, put it there. Your CV can be as much as 6 or 7 or 8 pages. I know nobody's going to see it, but have a master CV that has everything about you. You belong to Jet Club in the university. You spoke at a training program. You had a female support work. You supported breast cancer awareness. You did this and that. Everything you've done, put it there. And it takes a bit of introspection for it to get. It's something that I have people to do. We think to go back into your head and try to flesh out everything. It could be 6 or 7 pages. Have a master CV and keep it there. Then a job comes out, a JD comes out. Simple stuff using AI. Copy the JD, post it on ChatGPT, carry your CV, post it on ChatGPT, and give it a nice prompt. This is your master CV that talks about everything you've ever done in your life. This is the JD you're positioning for. Based on keyword analysis and everything, ChatGPT should help you recommend the way you can refine your CV to position you for that job. Now, it is not going to lie and say you did not do what you did. It's just going to look at everything you've done and what the JD needs and help you give a better story. And then help you with the keywords. Because sometimes when people are using ATS, there are some keywords that they're looking for. Okay. Now, another thing you want to do is somebody once reached out to me, a company I worked in before. She had applied for a job there. She reached out to me she said she stumbled and she found out that my name, that I'd worked with them before in the past. And she just wanted to inform me. And I said, okay, have you applied? She said yes. I said, quickly go to their LinkedIn page. Follow their LinkedIn page, follow their Instagram page, follow as much social media pages as you can follow. Why? Because she was applying for the head of the digital marketing role or so. Then go to their LinkedIn page and send connection requests to at least 5 of the decision makers. The CEO, the CTO, the CFO, importantly, the head of finance, the head of tech, the administration manager, very, very important, the head of HR, then probably the head of the departments you're into, and then randomly. I don't work in a place whereby I did something like this. I think I followed like 3 or 4 people. When I got the offer letter and they give me like 2 weeks to resume, I spent a bit of time sending connection requests to people that they were working in that firm, people that I worked in the past. I DM'd some of them just to network. I did not even tell them that I was the new person that they had hired. The day I resumed and we did the general meeting and the HR manager was introducing me, guess what? I was already popular because people had checked me out on LinkedIn. And like, if somebody like Charles can come and work in our firm, something good is coming. We actually had a good hire. It helped me have a very, very good soft landing because people had done their research to see the kind of, and I remember, like I said, everything I had done was already on my profile. So nobody needed to ask, what are these guys done? Everything was there. So they're like, oh, this is why we hire this kind of person. And then it made it very, very easy. So I told her, follow these key decision makers. Then especially the HR and some of the people in that department, go to their LinkedIn profile, like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of some of their posts, and drop 1 or 2 smart comments. Smart comment is not kudos, congratulations. No. Okay, there are easier way to. Let me just give you guys an expo. Copy somebody's LinkedIn post, put it on ChatGPT. Just give a bit of context about yourself and tell it that you want to support what they're saying, or you want to analyze it, or you want to have a small discussion. 30 words, don't sound mechanical, be conversational, no that just give it all those kind of prompts. And you can use this kind of feature to comment on as much people's comments as posts as you want. But you're going to make an impression. Why? 500 people applied for the job and the HR has 500 CVs to go through. Okay. The thing on his head is he has to look for the best qualified candidate within the shortest time possible. But he has to go through all those CVs. And then at the end of the day, you that are the best kind of candidate, but you have 499 people arguing with you or fighting for that position for you. Instead of just applying and praying, why not go to that HR person's page, follow him, send connection requests, comment on some of his posts, make an impression, and then go back to pray. If that person decides to go through those CVs, all well and good, but there's a high possibility that because they're hiring, they are going to be a bit more active on LinkedIn because they're cross-checking. And then imagine someone that has a target to hire a digital marketing officer. And all of a sudden, the person that is now liking his post or liking a post and commenting and connecting is the perfect person he's looking for. Let's even assume he just looks at you and notices you. When he goes back to go and check those CVs and he sees your name, all well and good. I've had conversations where people are saying they did the same thing, and the HR person said, "Hi, it's nice to connect with you. Funny enough, there's a recruitment position available in my firm, and we're looking for somebody with your skill sets." Why? Because everything you've done about you is on the profile. You don't need to ask questions again. Can you kindly apply for it? And like, oh, funny enough, I actually applied 2 weeks ago or 2 days ago. So just go and check, and you've moved your name up the list. So what are 499 people who are more qualified than yourself? Remember something. Every job you're looking at online is being posted by a human being like you and I. They are not machines. The same way I just left my office by 7:30 and I was rushing to be available by 7:50 and I'm very tired and I still have to talk and every other thing. So the easiest way anybody can make it easy for me is just how it works around. So this system I just explained to you is something that works almost 100% of the time. Make an impression and then go and fire your prayers. Okay? Sometimes I also go as further as if they accept my connection request, I get to send them DM. Oh, I see you work at this place. What kind of projects are you working on? And then me on my end, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And you know, the point, like I said, remember the lady I told you that she had guys disturbing her and she makes shoes, and she was able to lead that conversation to make it about the shoes. And they talked a lot about shoes, and bam, she's a shoemaker or she makes shoes. And all of a sudden, the guy needed the shoe, and this is the guy, and then the conversation moved to the place of control or the place she wanted. That is how it works. Okay. Now, another thing you want to do is some things you are working on. It is very, very important. For someone like Patience, she did a mentorship program, she did a boot camp, she got people together to come and talk about this and that. Post about that kind of thing online. Somebody that knew Patience as a program manager before, we now know that not only does Patience have an NGO or an outfit or a brand, Patience can now do event management. Patience has access to invite high-level quality speakers to come and speak at that event. Patience has, a system that can get almost 50 to 100 young women across Nigeria to come and apply for all those sort of other stuff. Meanwhile, in Patience's head, all she did was just post that she had launched a mentorship program. What you are doing and what you think you're doing is not what people see. If you look at this picture now, if I say I pay attention to detail, I'm good at design thinking, I'm good at training, I'm good at public speaking, this picture has covered everything in one go. If I tell the quality of the CEOs and people, these guys from Ghana, from Kenya, from the US, from Nigeria here, across different sectors, we were at a training session and they just gave me an idea, and in less than 20 minutes, I just pasted all the things on the board and I just started writing and pasting and everything, and everybody came and said, Charles, come and tell us what I did. And I built a business from scratch with ecosystem, stakeholders, and every other thing. So no matter how much I try to sell myself, this picture alone has covered every other thing. This is me talking and everybody's listening. Okay. So for me, I can just post it in and say, oh, I had an event and I just designed the business and I just put. But people that know what they're looking for are seeing beyond just this picture. They are seeing somebody that has so much to say that these kind of people are sitting down and willing to listen to him talk. Of course, I'm not going to be saying nonsense, if not, they would have left. Okay. So no matter what you are going to get from this session, let your profile, let your brand answer what have you done. Let your brand answer that question. So that the moment somebody is coming across you, they have an idea of everything you've done. The next question in their mind will be, what needs do I have that somebody like you can meet? Patience had followed me online and seen everything I've done. So when she needed mentors for this kind of stuff, it is very, very easy. She did not come and say, Charles, tell me about yourself. No. Everything about me was online there. Oh, she needed mentors. Oh, I know Charles. Charles is a mentor. Charles, this is the opportunity I have available. So this positioning makes it easier for people to offer. That is how some of us are on our own and opportunities are looking for us. The people are wondering what is actually happening. It's not about connection, it's just about how you position yourself. So post your projects. You are doing something or anything. Package it very, very well. Put a nice post, get nice pictures, and just put it out there. Okay. Another part again is, yes, of course, when you get to, I spend a lot more time on people's DMs. If I have 1,000 friends today, about 70% of them are from LinkedIn. I know how to strike up conversation. I know how to scan through your profile immediately and look for 1 or 2 or 3 areas I can ask you questions about. I'm very, very good at asking questions. I know how to stack up the conversation in such a way that, like, I know, Charles, so this conversation is even too much beyond LinkedIn. What's your email? Let us have a Google Meet. Or I see you in Abuja. Let us have coffee to discuss, or this or that. So go through people's profiles and know how to pick up something. Someone started the conversation with me over LinkedIn that, Charles, I noticed you studied in UNN. My fellow super lion, Kekwan, how are you? Oh, and then I went to go and check his profile. Oh, I see a lawyer. You have an outfit. Before you know it, exchange. What's your number? Where are you? And never that. You were both in Abuja before they plan to have a physical meeting. When we get to meet, he's telling me about himself. I'm telling him about myself. Then we look at ourselves and say, okay, what can we do together? And tomorrow, a business is born. I keep telling my friends, some people in my system, you are one conversation away from getting access to what you need. Just one conversation away. If I never had that initial, somebody linked me up to Patience and we had that conversation. If I never had that initial link with that person that linked me up to Patience, not would have got to this stage. Then the most important part that I like telling people, please and please and please, except if you did 419 or you have reasons to hide, or you posted something on Twitter, they are coming for you. It's very, very important to stay visible online. You don't even necessarily need to post. If you can come online on LinkedIn, connect with like 10 or 15 people per week, send connection requests. You don't need to know them as long as they're in your industry. Send connection requests to 10 or 15 people per week. Like the post of like 10 people. Comment on, like, I've taught you how to comment. You don't need to be racking your brain on the kind of comment. Use ChatGPT, is very, very fast. And it's good to be intentional toward their post. Drop 3 or 4 or 5 comments on people's posts. That is just enough. You don't even need to post on LinkedIn. It's not a must that you have to post. But these little things, you post something smart, people will like it. It's just like look at it on Twitter or Instagram. If you go and post something stupid, what do people do? They'll first click on your profile and check to see the kind of person that posted that stupid thing. And look for something annoying about it and then come and say that, Momo, I don't blame you. When you post something smart or something beautiful, it is the same thing people will do. They'll go and check out, oh, this person is speaking well. Let me go and check him out. And guess what? When they check you out, what should they see? Back to what I said again, they will see everything you've done and they know that your comment comes from a place of substance. And then the next question is, what can I do with this person? And then they're jumping onto your DM. Okay? So please, you can see all these things I've taught you is how people get the jobs they want without having to go and apply for a single job that 500 people are applying for. These are some of the loopholes that we exploit. Why? Because the people that have access to these opportunities are human beings like you and I. They have emotions, they have needs, they have preferences and all those other stuff. Think outside the box and get into it. Very, very important, okay? Positioning finally on the career part. I think I should be done soon. Time is running out. Okay, I've talked about some of this part. Create a master CV, like I said, everything about you should be listed there. Okay. When I used to help people or guide them to apply for jobs, it's very, very simple. You can apply for 10 jobs last month. You could have applied for 10 jobs last month. And then today, job number 7 decides to call you and want to do the interview on the spot. Hi, Gloria, or hi, Lois. I'm calling you from this consulting or whatever you applied for. At the end of the day, your head is going to be hazy. You've applied for over 20 jobs. Which one are they even calling you about? And it's going to be embarrassing for you to start asking, you, please, can you explain or whatever? I was stuck in that situation. So I decided to give people a lot of recommendation. Create an Excel sheet. It's very, very simple. Put the name of the company for each job you apply. The name of the company, column 1, column 2, the name of the role you applied for. Okay. The name of probably the location or something, and then the link to the job description. That is all you need. If you can now get a PDF or a link to your CV and put it so that you can know the particular CV you used to apply. Very, very simple. 1 line per job. By the time you apply for 10 jobs, you are going to have 10 lines. And then you save it on Excel, make it view access or edit access, copy it and paste it on your charts, or maybe on your chat link with your mentor or somebody accountable to or something. So that the moment people call you and they're calling you for a job, in less than 2 minutes, you can just open your WhatsApp, go to that place. The moment they introduce their firm, you just go to that place, use Control F, or just search for the firm, and you can see exactly everything you need to do. And it makes it easier. Like I said before, I'm a lazy person. So I try to think of how can I get results shorter, faster, but surely. This is the easiest. So if you are going into that, don't just randomly apply for jobs. It might embarrass you a bit. use this system. Excel sheet, job title, the name of the company, the month you applied, your CV link, and the link to the JD. Very, very easy. Okay, I don't want to go into this one. Cover letter, yes. Daily micro goals. For me, every day, I have a target for myself. In fact, I was using my jotter so much that it became ingrained in my head. Now I don't even need to write anything down. It's already in my head. Each time I wake up, I already have what I need to do. And before I sleep, I must achieve those things. Part of what I have in my head is I have a zero inbox policy. Before I sleep each night, my WhatsApp contact, this thing has to be zero. That meant I should have responded to every message. My LinkedIn, my Twitter has to be zero. Sometimes I have to sleep late, but it's something I'm gotten used to. Why? Because I've been in situations that an opportunity came and it took me 2 days to respond, and then I got to lose it. And because of the kind of system I'm in, somebody cannot reach out and say, Charles, there's a deal or this or that. So personally, I have a zero inbox. So before I sleep each day, I have to go through all my messages. If it's not important, then it's even better I keep it as unread or something. But set little goals. Do you want to? It's not enough to come out and say, Charles, my goal is to read a book. No, I will ask you, what is the name of the book? How many pages in that book? How many chapters? How many chapters will you read per day? And at the end of each day, you have to send me a voice note, a 1 minute voice note of what you learned from what you read. Like I said, words, actions, motive. If I understand your motive, it's very, very easy for me to help you. Okay? And then let me just leave the last part. So finally, on this part, okay, for the business people, for those of us in the business stage, I don't want to go into too much detail on this part. But when you're introducing yourself is one part, when you introduce your business is the second part. Your customer, the challenge they're having, your solution, and how your solution solves that challenge is the simple thing. People are missing out on opportunities. My customers are young professionals. They're missing out on opportunities because they're not positioning themselves well. That is the pain. They're looking for jobs and the likes. Okay. At the point that I thought my solution was CV, at the point I thought my position was LinkedIn, and then I finally decided my solution was actually mentorship. And package all this inside them. Once I get to talk to you, tell me your problem, I get to talk to you, I can easily identify what your pain point is, and I know how to position you better. Once you can answer these 3 or 4 questions and put it in a sentence, you've sold your business quickly. Okay. Now, another thing I try to tell a lot of startup owners is it's one thing to come out and say, Charles, I have a business in mind. For example, if Patience is looking for funding, it's very, very easy for me to position her in a way that she can get funding. Why? Because she had, not only did she have an idea for a brand, she had tested it out, she organized a workshop, she got people in one room, she had her ID customers, she had her ID vendors, she got everybody together, and she had that system. So a patient comes to tell me that she tried to set up a brand for a mentorship program, and she said she has prepared a proposal. I should come and look at it, number one. And the patient is telling me the same thing, but says not only has she prepared the proposal, she has organized a workshop, and she has even started the mentorship program with limited funding. People want to see people that have been busy. Like I said, what have you done is more important. Answer what you've done. And then the next thing, what can I do for you, comes later. Not what can I do for you, and then I run up. And just like seeing someone is asking for your CV, you say you're looking for jobs, and look, send me your CV, like, oh, please give me 2 days. Why? My CV is not ready. No, that should not be the case. Okay? So it's very important to start small. Build up on it, build from little by little by little. If people ask me, my business or my brand, I have a big picture to have a group of companies, different aspects. I'm looking at AI and different parts. But I said, let me start small. If you ask me, so far for the past 2 years, I've worked with over 800 plus professionals across multiple industries, across 11 countries. It got to the point I had a personal target. I wanted to optimize LinkedIn profiles for people outside Nigeria. And it worked for me. In fact, I now have a team of experts that handle international clients. So these are people that when they are in news, maybe the UK Brexit, the UK is doing visa issue, or US Trump and all. These are the kind of news I'm exposing them to. So that when they're discussing with the client in the UK, they are talking like a Nigerian, but somebody that has studied enough about the UK system. So I have this kind of traction already because I'm not waiting for money to come before I become busy. Okay. So at the end of the day, I don't want to just spend much time into these things. Another important aspect. So I'm just going to stop at this particular part. Okay. Have advisors. If you are starting a finance-based business, okay, it's very, very important that you might not have enough money to cover, but it's very, very important that you have Somebody, you must have a friend that is a finance expert. Reach out to the person. Hi, maybe Esther. I see you in the finance space. I'm starting up this stuff. I don't have enough money to pay you, but if you don't mind, because of because we are friends, once in a while, I want you to help me look at my financial proposals. I want you to help me look at my financial statement and just guide me on that. Just like now that we're talking about tax. Some of us have lawyers. We don't necessarily need to pay them because they are friends. We can actually even have a jump on a call with them and they guide us on how we can position our businesses better. Okay? If you are building a business that might need a bit of a tech, look for an IT person. It doesn't necessarily need to be the best person in the world, but someone that has knowledge about the IT space and discuss your business with that person. You discuss today, discuss tomorrow, and then next month, like, oh, I'm preparing a pitch deck. If you don't mind, can I just put your picture there in your portfolio there as one of my advisors? Nobody's good. People are not going to say no. It might not be a paid position, but people want to be there to help. So look at it this way, right? There's a, let me use Blessing. There's a Blessing that has a food business and she's preparing a pitch deck to seek for funding. And on the team section, she's putting her picture and she's putting her friend's picture and she's putting her logistic driver's picture. That is Blessing number one. This is me, the owner of the business. This is my friend. We usually work on the business together, and this is our driver. That is Blessing number one. And then Blessing number two has somebody like Charles with his portfolio. Charles is my business ideation advisor. He's the person I reach out to discuss how to position and scale my business, how to network and build a system of stakeholders and the likes. Number two, I have a Patience. Patience is my ecosystem manager. She has a vast network in the food system space. Patience is the one that I go to for this and that. Number three, I have an Esther. Esther is a nutrition advocate or a nutrition expert. She has worked in this and this. Esther helps to ensure that whatever food I'm doing or whatever, I'm focused on balanced diets. If I'm looking at children with disabilities or nursing mothers or different categories of people in the health space, my food, whatever, is speaking to the different parts. You get, look for different people. It could even be that you even have somebody that the person is in the government space. Your own is that because you want to work with the Ministry of Health or the Department of Nutrition or the Ministry of Agriculture or whatever, that is how you, and you have these people in your space. You don't need to pay them one kobo. The easiest thing to do is to be very, very accountable. Hi, Charles. Good morning. Thank you for the mentorship program. This is the idea I have or whatever. If you don't mind, I know you're very, very busy. Maybe once in a while, I can just jump on a 15 or 30 minutes call with you. Let me just tell you what I'm doing. Hello, Charles, on WhatsApp. Good afternoon. How are you today? Sorry to disturb you. I just want to give you an update on what is happening. I registered my business. I had this. I went to the market to get this one. I had a session with this. Charles is not asking for your business, but you're doing that proactively. You're proactively becoming an amebo about your business to Charles. But the point is, because Charles is learning about what you're doing without, maybe with or without his permission, but you're actually giving him update that he did not send you. You see that prayer that you're praying, that you want to be in some rooms and you want your name to be mentioned. It is not about that prayer. You have to position yourself well. The Bible says faith and good works go together. Focus on that work part. So why will Charles mention your names in rooms where Charles only knows you as a fine girl, but there's nothing of substance he knows about what you're doing? And he doesn't, it's not his business. Why should they come and ask you what you're doing about? So proactively nominate yourself to be giving up. That is how I got to where I am today. I have people in my space that I'm always telling them, hello, sir, good afternoon. How are you? How is Canada? Today, I went for this event. I went to this person. I did this, I did that. Sir, I want to leave the job I'm doing now. I just refine my CV. This is it. I'm just thinking about it. Oh, Charles, what kind of jobs are you looking for? Whatever. Charles, hello, sir, I've gotten a job. What is the kind of job I got? I'm going to resume today. Hello, sir, I just finished my 3 months on the job. They've confirmed me. I see the partnership. They are not, like I said, the kind of people you reach out are not people that are going to be competing with you. So the people that are higher at a higher level. You're not going to meet people that because they're doing well in life, you look like that. No. You do it this way, and at the end of the day, someone will know that there's a serious or a proactive person. And please, please, rule number one, don't ever ask them for money. That they are putting gun on your head is that you are saying, please shoot me, I don't have any, but don't ever ask. The moment you do that, you've turned the relationship to something transactional, and you're no different from anybody else. Sometimes in my speech, people come to me and say, Charles, come and borrow me money or whatever. And I've told some of my mentees that I have a lot more to give you than money. But the moment you ask me for money and I don't have that money to give you, someone in your head, they just say, Charles is a broke guy, or Charles did not help me, and you've labeled me the wrong one. That is the end of that relationship. Because I feel bad, I was not able to help you financially. and then you feel I'm not a trustworthy person because I couldn't give you 5 or 10K, and that is the end. I usually tell a lot of business people, when you're asking for help, don't focus on money. For example, let me just give an example. I work under the office of the vice president. I work with a team that if you want to talk to any governor tomorrow, or you want to speak with any minister tomorrow, or you want to have a meeting with the vice president with less than a phone call, you don't even need to write a letter. I'm not saying it for myself, but the people I work with, I have that access. So if you see somebody like me, and the thing you think you need from me is urgent 10K, you've lost that relationship. Okay, so the point is, when you have people like this in your space, be very, very strategic, be very, very proactive. Like I said, what have you done should not be a challenge. Let them know what you've done already. You should be there. Hello, sir, just optimize my profile. Hello, sir, this and that. So that tomorrow, the moment something comes up, or let me say the moment somebody is talking about they have funding or they're preparing a program that is good to see how to support women-led businesses, or they're looking for a program to support like 50 young female entrepreneurs in Abuja or whatever, the first person my mind will go to is Patience. Because once I send Patience's name to them, Patience already has everything. In less than 2 days, they can be like, Charles, thank you. Before they met with Patience, before they agreed on a date. I will not go and send the name of somebody that has not already done it. And I'm doing this thing because Patience has kept me updated on everything happening in her business and her life. So back to my final part of this, okay? Have an advisory circle. Okay? People that this, like I said, blessing number 2, have all these other people. So when blessing is pitching, blessing could say, okay, I'm just starting my business, so but I'm lucky to have this quality or category of people mentoring me or guiding me. For the nutrition part, I have a nutrition expert. For this one part, I have this and this and this. It communicates better. I've worked in a firm that my CEO was pitching. It was we were looking for, I'm not going to mention the money, but it's a lot. No, yeah. We were pitching for a Columbia Business School wanted to get 2 businesses in Nigeria. They wanted to get, I think, 15 businesses in Africa, but they needed only 2 in Nigeria for a 2-year paid program. That was how I got my Columbia Business School certification degree. My boss was pitching about the business. He was talking, and it was a video meeting. I was watching all their faces, all those guys in the Columbia Business School, and I noticed they were not impressed. But we had a strong board of advisors number. So we had a team section. We had a very, very strong board of advisors. We had people that had worked for Dangote, people, and like our board of advisors had quality people on the global level. Let me see, people like Okonjo Iweala, we had like 4 people like that. As my boss was still talking, I just quickly went and opened my Canva, took all the pictures from LinkedIn, put it there, this person's name, 12 years experience in this and that, put the pictures of all the consultants we had, put the pictures of the managers. Then we had a lot of females on the team. And the second part, and I put a lot of the female, so I designed a team section because it was Canva a live presentation like this. I now added it on the slide, and then I just slid a message to my boss that please, when you get to this slide, refresh your slide so that it's going to update. He said, okay. The moment he did that, then he went to the next slide. The moment they saw those names and those faces, I kid you not, because it was a video meeting, they jumped up or they were alive, and all of them opened their laptop and they were looking at my bosses at the screen and typing and typing and typing, and they were nodding. And that's how we got that deal. Were we the best company in Nigeria? No. But we had very, very credible and tested people on the global level. So if they had any doubt about us, if this quality of people can be working with us, then we're very, very credible. And that's how we got that deal. So are you a business person? Are you a career-oriented person? Have mentors like this. Have a good relationship with them. They should not chase you for feedback. Give them updates. Cement that relationship very, very well. Check in on them once in a while. I have a lady that reached out to me and said, Dr. Charles, I've been noticing you doing all this mentorship stuff. In fact, from today, every PowerPoint you are doing, it's me that will be doing it. Don't ever touch PowerPoint again. Give me the topic, give me the outline or whatever. Guide me on that. We started a bit sketchy because I wanted this done, but it could be the point that I could just call her today that, hello, doctor, I have a training by 8 o'clock and it's 3 o'clock. And in less than 2 hours, this PowerPoint I'm talking to you about, she prepared it. Because by 5:30 was when I had time, and then she had already prepared the PowerPoint already. And she already knows the kind of things I say because I attended almost like 10 of my classes. And because of that, I've pushed her to like 2 or 3 job opportunities. When anything comes up and people say they need someone that can support virtually, I don't even think so. I push her there. Because she identified a potential need I had, she offered value, and then we got to exchange value, and she proved her worth. So this is how some of us bypass all those things you are seeing on ChatGPT and YouTube, and we focus on the human beings that are making those decisions. Okay, and it helps us get to where we are. Then I think this is the last slide. So, like I said, for me, take pictures. Hello, Charles. I just sorry I've not been reaching out to you. I've been busy. I've traveled around Nigeria. I don't even care. My own is, do you have evidence? Oh, yes, Charles, I took pictures. One I posting on LinkedIn. Oh, I need to get approval. Get approval and post on LinkedIn and please tag me. I have almost 30,000 followers. I will repost and a lot of people will see it. That is accountability for me. Okay. So anything you're doing, have evidence because tomorrow that picture alone is going to help you. Are you an agricultural person? Have you trained 500 farmers? One thing on your CV is having all those things. A single picture like this on your LinkedIn has answered that question. Have you trained 500 students or whatever? For someone like Patience, just that picture of her in with the group of women and the group of all of us at that Abuja, whatever. Patience doesn't need to start telling herself that she can organize events or she should do that. That picture has sold her already. Everybody came together just because of her. It has answered that. Have you done some school feeding program or this and that or whatever? Pictures are always going to save you a lot. Every time I go from official meetings and every other thing, before we round up, I like, please, if you don't mind, I have a report to send to my superiors. I will need us to take a group picture. Oh, Charles, all well and good. And they'll take the picture. And they're like, oh, Charles, please, when you post on LinkedIn, tag me. And that's how I get access to where I am. Okay. So, last but not the least, I wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, but my dear ladies, right? There are some things some of us do, okay, that gets us to get results faster. It is not jazz. In as much as we can pray, someone that wants to leave Nigeria and is praying but does not have an international passport is not going anywhere. It's not going to be magic. So the kind of mentorship I've built myself into, I decided to say, okay, there is faith, there is good works. The church and the other systems can take care of it. Let me focus on the good works part because I notice it's a very, very big gap. We have a lot of wishful thinkers. I want to start a business. I want to work for CBN. I want that to come and give me dollars. I want to do this. But oh yeah, now take that action. We are not doing anything. So once you decide to take action, position yourself well. Let it be that the moment somebody stumbles across anything about, as I'm talking to you now, somebody checking your LinkedIn profile without your knowledge, and they're making decisions about it that you don't know. So why don't you position yourself well, such that people will see it, and when they want to send you a DM, they are coming with a problem, and they're telling you that you have the solution to that problem, and that is what gets it that way. Okay, so sorry for talking too much, but I think I was able to complete my slides this time. Thank you very much. Over to you, Patience. Thank you.
Whoa, amazing. I see that Blessing is already sending an invite on LinkedIn. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Charles. Ladies, are you still on this call? I'm not seeing your reactions. I'm not seeing your comments in the chat. Can I see your comments in the chat appreciating? Yes, please appreciate Dr. Charles. He has done so well. Like, I took note too. You see some of the things I've been sharing in the chat. I've taken note of them and I'm going to implement them too. Yes, so let's just see. We still have, I think we have about less than 20 minutes before we wrap up. Let's see if we have anyone with a question. If you have a particular question that was not addressed during his presentation, this is the time for you to ask. Gracie, from the link we shared, do we have questions?
No,
Is
we
Grace-
do. I just checked. I've not seen any questions there.
Okay, I think his Lois Rice also shared the attendance sheet so we can, attendance form, I mean. Okay, so who has a question live on this call? Who wants to unmute themselves and ask their question? Abigail, Blessing, Esther, Teresa, Grace, Precious, Tego, Vera.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Charles and thank you so much. I am really grateful. For me, mine is not a question. Mine will be more like a contribution. So last year, I was working somewhere and then my boss particularly then told me, and she called me and she said she likes me as a mentee and blah blah blah. And then she sees that I post always on social media, especially on LinkedIn, that I should reduce it. It was a whole lot. Like, she said a whole lot, but all what she was saying was, Blessing, stop posting on social media and all that. And it got to a point that it felt like, okay, we do anything in the office. Why do you post? So I stopped posting whatever happens in the office. And I do a lot of volunteering. I speak to girls. I love educating people. So in my personal life, I started focusing on that. But yet the comments kept coming that you still post on LinkedIn, focus on your career and all that. So I had to leave that particular job. But the comment I would like to say is, at that time when I told a mentor of mine, he was like, if I have another opportunity at that place, he feels like it's not it's not conducive anymore for my growth, and I needed to grow, and he wouldn't advise me to drop or stop LinkedIn or any other social media, for example. So I had to leave that job. And from that time till now, just to affirm what you said, I had gotten so many opportunities. In fact, recently I was invited to Lagos, all trip paid, accommodation, everything. Like, I don't even know those people. They just reached out to me on LinkedIn. And until I saw my flight ticket booking, I didn't even believe I was going to go for that. So yes, thank you so much for sharing. And I really learned a lot. I'm really going to write about this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that. Yes, very important. And then I forgot something, so I'll just briefly say it. Please just indulge me 2 minutes, okay? So I said I was going to guide us on, and I'm saying it because you have an event to go to. When you go for events, okay, go to eventbrite.com, eventbrite.com. Have an account there. There are lots of events posted there. That's the easiest way to see an event close to you. Try to attend at least. It's coming November and December times for capacity building and all this stuff. Try to attend at least 1 or 2. Thank you, Blessing. 1 or 2 events before then. So this is the strategy, right? If you go and you meet Okonjo-Iweala, let us be honest with ourselves. She's a big woman. She's up there. There's nothing she needs from us. And because she's a popular person, she's going to virtually meet half of the people in the hall. Everybody's coming to her collecting a number. And like I said, I like us to do things a bit differently. Don't look at the average way of thinking. Okay, so let's assume Charles number 1. I meet Okonjo-Iweala, okay? I decide to call her, hey, hello, ma, blah, 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 blah. Thank you, ma, I'm a fan, and blah, blah, blah. Can we take a picture? I collect her number, okay? And then next day I go, save her number. She's on WhatsApp. And then I start sending an episode, hello, ma, I'm a fan, I am this, I'm that, I'm that. Everybody else is doing the same thing. I'm not going to be special. I'm not going to stand out. Okay, and there's high chances that it's even a PA that will respond because she's used to attending those events. She's used to people asking her for all those other stuff. So Okonjo-Iweala is a wild example, but you're going to meet a lot of notable people. This is how you make a difference, okay? Firstly, as usual, make sure you have a very, very good LinkedIn, not even online, have a good LinkedIn profile. Let your profile homepage look okay. Okay, nice DP, nice banner, good career. So, and easiest thing, if you're having any challenge on it, just go and check my LinkedIn. It's going to tell you the guide of how your average one should be. Nice pictures everywhere. Just look okay, look presentable. Okay, when you go and meet somebody, speak with them, make an impression. Ask 1 or 2 or 3 leading questions. Hi, Patience, how are you? Oh, what do you do? Patients are like, oh, I'm into mentorship program. Okay, your mentorship program, is it for males or females? Oh, it's actually for ladies. Okay, is it just Abuja? Is it virtual? Oh, what made you start? I did that. Okay, how far have you gone? Have you guys started? How many mentors do you? Can you see how I started from just her telling me about her mentorship program? Everything she answered. So you don't have to have plenty questions. Just lead, follow up, and get the point that I stop. You've made that when patient leaves, she might see me as the annoying guy that asked her a lot, but at least she got to share a lot about her mentorship program with me. Okay, I made a bit of an impression. So I will now meet Patience and see, Patience, are you on LinkedIn? There's a high chance that someone like Patience or someone like Okonjo-Iweala also is on LinkedIn. And then instead of collecting her name on LinkedIn, I'll say no. I'll collect her business card in her presence. I'll put my LinkedIn profile. I'll set, there might be plenty Patience or plenty Blessing Iyare or whatever, plenty Charles. So I could now search Blessing Iyare and they can say like 2 or 3 and I'll show Blessing, no, Blessing, which one are you? Blessing will now click and say, I'm this person. Then I open the profile, and as it's showing Blessing's profile, I'll take a screenshot. And I say, okay, I'll send you a message on LinkedIn later. Do it for virtually everybody you've met of importance. They will know that you talk to them, and you're the only person that will do this thing because every other person is collecting a business card or collecting a phone number. So it's difficult to forget you. When you get back home, send them a connection request. Like I said before, like some of their posts, comment on some. If you can send a DM, maybe on Premium, send a DM, hi, I am blessing the lady that. So that same message you would have sent on WhatsApp, send a brief version on LinkedIn, but you've gone ahead to connect with them, like some of their posts, comment on some of their posts. It is going to be very, very difficult to forget you. Okay. At the end of the day, whether they respond today or tomorrow or whatever, remember WhatsApp, they'll just say thank you and that is all. When they want to respond, they will check you out. That is the difference. WhatsApp is just your number and your DP. But LinkedIn is you. So, and like I said, that thing about yourself that you've done is already on your profile. So Konjo Iweala will look at us and like, Charlie, they try you, only you mentor, you're working in the DP office, and guess what? I have a cousin that is doing this one and simple. So for whoever is attending any event, try not to collect numbers, especially when looking at all these important people, because you're not going to stand out. Use this LinkedIn approach. And it's important that they know that you took a screenshot and they know that you want to connect with them on LinkedIn and do this. Even if it takes 2 or 3 or 4 days, they will check you out and then they like it. And that is when you're now here, let us have coffee or let us have a meeting or this is my number, whatever. And that is how I've got to where I am. I was in Kenya in 2023 for an event. From Kenya, I was at the time to take, okay, quickly. Another thing, that's why I said, please always learn to ask questions. It was a mini grid event, electricity, energy people, 600 people from over 30 or 40 countries were there, very, very big hall. World Bank hosted it. I was representing Nigeria. They had the first session and they said and one thing I don't shy of is asking questions. I raised up my hand and all of a sudden the whole camera in the whole hall, the whole very, very big hall, everything turned on me. I stood up. I did not say good afternoon. No. My name is Dr. Charles Unsheyin. I'm the head of operations for Afrimash Company Limited. We are an agribusiness startup based in Ibadan that focused on something for farmers. Thank you for your listening. My question goes to moderator number 2. I noticed you talked about this and that. I've made enough impressions. By the time I left, and then it was time to take coffee and everything, and people went out. People came up to me. I like how bold you are. Oh, I'll be looking for someone in the agricultural space in Nigeria. I'll be looking for this, I'll be looking for this, I'll be looking for this. The next day, one time to ask questions, and I raised up my hand. The moderator and different moderators said, okay, give the microphone to that gentleman from Nigeria, or give the microphone to the agribusiness guy from Afrimash. I had made an impression already. I went to go and take tea or whatever, and the lady came up to me and started talking. And I saw her name. Oh, you're back from Nigeria. She said yes, and we started talking and everything. What do you do? I thought that you like, okay, I work with the Dutch embassy in Abuja, in Lagos. And we're having an event with the Orange Corners and Feed Foundation. It's in the agricultural space. If you're interested, I can give you an invite. I'm like, oh, well and good. At that event, I got an invite to the Dutch embassy. I went there. At that event, I got an invite to IITA. At IITA, I got an invite to FAO. At FAO, World Bank, and that was how I got all these things. So I got to the point that I was working with the United Nations, all those things the patients said about. That was just from one conversation. So please, and please don't play with your LinkedIn profile. Don't play with positioning yourself. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you so much, sir. So I took note of that question I was going to ask, but thank God you remember to pick it on. All right, ladies, our time is fast spent. Do we still have any questions? Do we have questions? Kindly unmute and ask your question. You have Dr. Charles now for free. Ask your questions now. After now, you might not get him this free again. Okay, I'm not seeing any hand raised, and I'm not seeing any question in the chat. I want to believe that's a sign that you did justice to the topic and no one has a question to ask. Personally, I don't have a question. I think thank God for connectivity. Any other thing, I would have to reach out to you, but I got so much from this session. I really want to celebrate and appreciate you for taking out the time to join us and for sharing this much. Really practical tips I picked for myself. And yes, so whatever it is I think I'm doing now, I just saw a better way to even do better and position better. Thank you so much for this opportunity. All right. So I don't know if you have any final words to say, Dr. Charles. Do you have anything you want to say to us?
No final words. Just to encourage for what you are doing. I know people usually come out to pitch businesses to me, and they're saying my business is going to solve world hunger. They know it's not going to solve. Even Elon Musk with all his money can't solve it. But the point is, if patients are doing what you are doing and you're putting yourself out there, and another young lady sees you doing the same thing and decides to do it in a community, and before you know it, lots of ladies are doing the same thing, and everybody's posting it online such that people can see that this is obtainable. And that is how we can naturally move the needle a little. And then just to encourage, at least I'm glad that we have a very, very good set of professionals here. Just to encourage everyone, my LinkedIn is always open. Feel free to reach out, and then I always try to make time to see how much I can help. So thank you very much, and then wish everybody good luck ahead. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. All right, ladies. So we were supposed to have a session next week, right? We're supposed to have a session on public speaking next week. In fact, we're supposed to start this week, but for some reason, our mentor had to move the session of Tuesday to today. So that's why we could not have that session. So we plan to have it next week. Those of you that are still on the call, I see Blessing. Please, before you go off the call, let's attend to this before you go off the call. I see Blessing. I see Emmanuel. I see Esther. I see Grace. I see Precious. I see Tego. So we'll be having a session on public speaking next week, Thursday. Let me share my slides one more time, just one page for you to see what we have for next week. Kindly let me know once you can see my screen. Just want to do this really quick. Okay. So we're having that session on public speaking. For those who want to improve on their public speaking skills, this is that chance for you. It's just going to be we amongst ourselves, right? Nothing so special, nothing so serious. For those who claim that they are shy, they don't like to speak in public and all of that. So this is going to be an opportunity for you to express yourself and coordinate yourself. Yeah, so next week's session is on Tuesday 18th, and it's still going to be on career and business growth. That's going to be our session 2. You remember we have 6 key pillars, and then each of the pillar takes 2 sessions, right? So next week's session makes it session 8, and then we have 4 more to go. And considering that we're having only 1 session next week, and it's going to be on a Tuesday, we are now looking at having just a 1-hour call on a Thursday for the public speaking session. So let me see those of you that want to be part of this. If you would love to be part of this conversation, let me see you raise your hand quickly. Let me see you raise your hand. You want to be part of, or let's just see your reaction. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I remember Linda even reached out. I don't know if she's on the call. Okay. I think she has been complaining of bad network. She even reached out today and was asking about it. See, ladies, there is, for those of you who have had the opportunity to speak out there, there is so much blessing. There is so much of opportunities that open up to you once you're able to express yourself. And the truth is, some of the people who do these things so well, speak so well, don't even have the skill set, don't have the experiences that you do have, but just because you feel like, oh, I'm a shy person, and then you are zipped up somebody else who is not as good and as qualified as you get those opportunities. There was one phrase my little cousin came back from school and said that the teacher said that he has always been this very quiet boy. He's just very intelligent, but he doesn't like to speak in class. And he said the teacher told him one day that Bethel, the world is not ready to come and read all the things you write. The world is ready to hear you speak, right? So if you don't get to speak well and you cannot express yourself, people who don't know anything compared to what you do know will get the opportunities, and you keep being in the background waiting on them. So please, let's take this seriously. I look forward to this opportunity myself. And so we'll be reaching out with the link on Thursday, and we hope to have you. I think we'll work with 8 p.m., right, Grace? So let's also vote for a time. Is 8 p.m. a good time? Or let's vote for a time. Is 8 p.m. a good time, ladies? Let's work with those that are on the call now. Okay, Esther says it's fine. Okay, Blessing says it's fine. Okay. Yes, one more thing. I want to celebrate everyone who stayed active on this call. I love how you were responsive, and it made everything beautiful. We're not much, right? But then your responses made the whole conversation interesting and more impactful. Blessing, I think it's your conversation that even reminded Dr. Charles of some of the things he needed to share with us. So thank you everyone for being open and staying connected. Yeah, so let me see. Grace, do we have any other thing you would want to share before we wrap up, before we end the call for tonight?
I really do not have much to say. Thank you, everyone, for staying to the end of this very call. I am sure you've gained a lot of value for your time. And then, like I do say in most of the messages I've sent, like you've made the best choice this year. This little thing, little time, little contribution, little effort is just like one major thing that you need to do. And with time, everything comes together. Your growth may not look like is visible enough, but you may not really know those small words that are coming and are hitting you. They are storing up somewhere, and then unconsciously you just see yourself doing certain things that usually you may not even know how to do before. You do not know how to do before unconsciously. You may not even know that it was out of these meetings or it was out of this kind of gatherings that you got to learn or you got to get those values from. So yes, kudos to you for the effort for those started from the beginning and you are still here till now. This is from us to you. We are saying that we are super proud of you. I mean, we are super proud of you, and we are looking forward to a bigger you, yes, because we believe in the process and we believe in the bigger picture. We are so sure that after the end of this mentorship program, so many, I don't know how to term it, but Miss Patience, you can attest to it that it's going to be like so many testimonies. Let me call it testimonies, yes, because we know that every of these things are seed and they are definitely going to yield good and great results. So cheers to you, cheers to a better tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. And thank you, Ma.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gracie. Thank you for that. And yes, I wanted to mention this earlier. I don't know if you are not on LinkedIn here. Is there anyone that's not on LinkedIn here? Biko. Ejo. Which other language do I use? Please get on LinkedIn. Like you heard Dr. Charles said, why I always insist LinkedIn is, I believe most of us here are professionals, right? In the different career paths we're in. LinkedIn is a better place to build as a professional than all this other, like Facebook. Facebook is a bit saturated, so before an opportunity gets to you on Facebook, there are so many other people who are building in the Mbok. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. So there are so many other people that are already building in that space. Imagine somebody having over 100,000 plus followers, 1 million views, 1 million followers on Facebook. And then the person is building the same career path with you. And you have, let's just say, maybe 10 or 15,000. or less than even 10,000 on Facebook, before an opportunity gets to you, it might be the very least of opportunities that will get to you. The first person that had over 100 plus will definitely be taken over you. But for somewhere like LinkedIn, you hardly see people amount so that volume of crowd or followers, right? And so anybody you get to see that has up to even 5,000, 10,000, 15, 20,000, they just know that it's a person of value. And it's easier for you to get opportunities from there. So please, if you are here and you're not on LinkedIn, please get on LinkedIn and let your account be optimized. You don't have to be posting every now and then, but just very important things, post those important things that you're learning. Let me also ask, who has shared that they've been part of this mentorship program since we started? In fact, from the conference, you've made a post, at least one post about it. Let me just see your reaction quickly. If you've made at least one post about it on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere at all. Anywhere at all. Can I see your reactions? I'm looking at the chat. I've not seen any in the chat, and I'm not seeing your reactions. So your silence means you've not done that. Kindly do so. Now, I cannot explain the opportunities or the blessings that will come if you get to do this, right? Personally, I've shared, I know it's something, it's TCW, and then you might just say, oh, I'm the founder, so I have to put it out there. But beyond putting it out there, I'm putting it out there, it's building a portfolio for myself, So even you as a mentee, it's building a portfolio for you. There are some applications I put in now, and then they ask that, have you been a part of any mentorship program before? How did you behave? So for me, I've been privileged to be a part of some mentorship programs before, and it's a plus for that application. So please put it out there, like Dr. Charles had told us earlier. When you put it out there, nobody comes to even ask you whether you did it or not. Imagine that you capture yourself, the screenshot of why you're on this call, and it's live there online. Nobody will come to even argue with you that, oh, this is not you, or this did not happen. It's just there, they will see it. Right. Okay, so I think we've spent exactly 2 hours now. Yeah, we spent 2 hours now, so we can call it a night. Thank you all for staying on up until now, and we look forward to seeing you in the next session on Tuesday. I am going to be sharing the slides with you. I'll have to reach out to Dr. Charles to get it, and then we'll also share the recordings, and I encourage you to look at it once we share it. So let's call it a night. Good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hi, beautiful people.
Yeah, bye.
Go on, go spread the news.
So I'll be ending the call in 1 minute. In the next 1 minute, I'll be ending the call. All right, ladies, good night once again.